Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it's getting a little late. It's about, I think it's like 6:37, something like that. I don't know. I don't think it's 7 o'clock yet, but I think it's actually past 6:30. And I'm currently uploading videos. I haven't posted any videos today, and this is my 6th video that I filmed because I have some thumbnails to make. I have videos uploading right now. When those videos get done uploading, I have to upload the other videos. So I thought I would start vlogging, and then in like 20-30 minutes, take a break from vlogging, go inside, get that stuff done, get the second round of videos going, and then come out here and finish my vlog. I thought that would be like a way to get it done tonight. So yeah, so I'm having a really great day today, and I'm actually very, very excited about tonight. Alex just left for his Christmas party. He asked me like 3 times today. He was like, are you sure you don't want to go to the Christmas party? I was like, no, I'm totally fine. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And here's the thing, like, she lives like so far from here. She lives like 40 minutes from here, 45 minutes probably. And so if like we get out there and he wants to stay the duration, like if we go somewhere around here and like he wants to stay, you know, or like if we're at, you know, doing something, like if I want to stay, like I can always stay and take an Uber home, or if we're like real close, you know, whatever. But like it's so far away to like take a 45-minute Uber ride home. So I'm like, no, just go have fun with your friends. I want to stay home tonight. I want to watch Vanderpump Rules. I want to watch a couple Christmas movies. I want to take like a long hot shower, do a face mask, do some skincare, things like that. So I'm actually really excited about tonight. I was going to try and not order any food tonight, but I actually think I'm going to order some food tonight. I don't know yet what I'm going to order. I know it's not going to be pizza. I'm not hungry for pizza, but I feel like a little bit like it's kind of like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm kind of like bachelor weekend. Because Alex is, you know, like yesterday, like late afternoon, all night. He was home last night. He's been home all day today, and I'm kind of like, oh, I get a little freedom in the house tonight. I'm so happy that he's like, you know, gone. I love my husband. I love spending time. That's where people are like, oh my God, he doesn't want to spend any time with his husband. It's like, my friend Tanya and I talk about this. Like when our husbands go out of town, like the first thing that we do is like clean the kitchen, light a candle in the kitchen, clean the living room, change the sheets, make the bedroom really nice, put in a load of laundry, make the house nice, light candles and everything, you know, and then just like enjoy like having like a spa weekend to ourselves, you know, and and so it's so funny, you know, like for me on Tuesday nights when I go to meetings and stuff like that, like Alex like just, you know, plays his game on his phone, takes a long shower. He's like, I'll be like, what'd you do tonight? He's like, I did a face mask and, you know, like did some like, you know, face stuff. So tonight that's going to be my night. I'm going to drink some, I got a Diet Coke going right here. I'm going to drink some Diet Coke, some coffee, order some food, watch some Christmas movies, and I'm really excited about tonight. So actually, Tanya called me back, or Tanya called me earlier, and I got to call her back, and I have a feeling she's going to be like, do you want to run to the Meijer with me? So I may go to the Meijer with Tanya Jean, then come home and do my face masks and watch my shows and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about tonight. Like, I'm going to have a good time tonight. I need it. And the other reason that I kind of wanted to just stay around here tonight was that at midnight tonight is my 29th sobriety birthday. And like I say, we don't borrow time in recovery, so I've got about 4 or 5 hours left until I turn 29 years sober, and I'm very excited about it this year. Like, I always, like, you know, years looking back, well, I'll talk about this in just a second, but tonight, one of the things I want to do is I try to, like, going in, I usually do it on my sobriety birthday or my birthday, is that I make, like, a list of goals. Not necessarily resolutions, but, like, I'm not big on New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, but goals that I want to accomplish by the next year, you know? And so I want to sit around tonight. I want to think back about, like, all the people that have like really changed me in sobriety, and you know, I just want to kind of have like a moment. I think I want to like listen to a lead online tonight and just have kind of like a very spiritual moment, and I want to make goals for my 29th year of sobriety and the things that I want to achieve. The things I want to do, some of the risks that I want to take, and things I want to work on in the next year coming up. And I want to light some candles out here and be, you know, in the world. And it's actually a nice night tonight. It's cool, but it's not like super cold. So my plan is, well, if I don't go and do something with Tanya, my plan is to do a face mask and do some, like, skin stuff, and then take a long hot shower and lotion down with my sleepy lotion and all that kind of stuff because it smells so good. It's like lavender. And then light a bunch of candles, put on some like cozy, comfy PJs, and make that list tonight, read some meditations, just think back, on my 29 years. Like, the last couple months, like, I've said this on vlogs before, that the 2 months leading up to my sobriety birthday are, like, always really hard for me. Because I think back about what those days were like and how desperate they are. And there's, a few stories that I've shared on here, but there's a lot of stories that I keep, very, there's a lot of stories that I keep really close to me, that are things that happened during that time to me, that, like, as a blackout drinker, I kind of, like, came in and out of those memories. And so there's still kind of, even though it's been 29 years, they're still kind of, like, hard to wrap my, my head around. And so to think about where I was and where I'm at now, and the strength that I've gained and how empowered I feel. You used to look back at those 2 months because, like, after Halloween, leading up to when I went into treatment on the 17th of December, well, I mean the night of the 16th going into the 17th, well, it was early morning of the 17th is when I went into treatment. When I think back on those days, of, like, oh gosh, just my apartment being a mess, and just, like, drugs and empty alcohol containers being everywhere. It just was a mess, and my apartment was representative of what my life was like, and I think back on that, and I usually kind of, like, get emotional out of sadness of looking at that. But this year I feel like I'm getting emotional. I haven't really gotten that emotional yet. I'm thinking actually about doing a video tonight for tomorrow, talking about my sobriety birthday on my drama channel, my main channel. I may do that. I don't know why I refer to that as my main channel, but it's been the one that I've been, like, posting on consistently the most. So, but we are coming up on the end of 7 years over here. So we're starting our 8th year on January 1st over here, which is crazy. But anyway, and then I may take the rest of the day off tomorrow and just enjoy my sobriety birthday and spend the time with Alex and stuff like that. Still got some movies we want to watch and whatever. So, but I usually, like, really struggle the 2 months before my sobriety birthday. I really think a lot about where I was back then and what my life looked like, that I didn't really care if I lived or died. I really never thought I would amount to anything. I mean, I believed that. Like, I believed that I didn't think I could ever support myself emotionally, financially. I never thought that I would ever go back to college, let alone graduate, let alone get my master's degree. Sobriety was completely, like, never anything that I ever thought was going to happen to me. It's interesting. I talk a lot on videos about what people say, like, people that get sober have to really want it, And I always use examples of, like, drug courts and things like that because I really believe in drug courts. I think they save lives. I think they're a tool for people to use to save their life depending on what they do with it. But I've known a lot of people that have gotten sober through drug courts. And drug courts are where you've had multiple drug or alcohol offenses, and so you're part of what is called drug court, and many counties have them where you're required to, like, go to so many meetings. It's usually a meeting every single day for a period of time, sometimes 6 months or a year. You have to get, like, meeting sheets signed. You have to have a sponsor that will show up in court. You have to, like, go to counseling, be part of an outpatient program. You have to have a job. You have to do this. You have to do that. There's a lot of different things you have to do, right? But basically what it is a structure for somebody in early recovery. And so a lot of people do it begrudgingly, because, you know, drug court also is a way to like get out of other things. Like instead of like maybe going to jail for 2 years, you do drug court, and then you're on work release and things like that. There's a lot of my friends have done these programs. And so at the end of it, it's like your sentence is reduced. You get to be, you know, just be on probation and things like that, which is like one of the reasons why a lot of people want to be in drug court. But then a lot of people do the things that they're asking them to do in drug court, and then they end up realizing, oh, wow, I have peace and serenity. People aren't mad at me anymore. I'm saving money. I feel like I'm stronger than I was before. I'm happy today. And so as a result of doing the things that they're being told to do in drug court, they start wanting to do those things on their own because they see the results, you know? And so I always use those as examples of people that, like, you don't necessarily have to want to get sober, you know? Like I think there's this idea that people only go into treatment that, like, I've never really met that many people that, like, showed up in treatment. We're like, I'm here. I'm like, I mean, I've known a few, very few, right? That are like, I'm here and I'm, like, so excited to be in treatment and all this kind of stuff. But, like, not many have I met like that. This car's, like, backing up and going out and stuff like that. But I haven't really, I mean, and to be honest with you, in 29 years of sobriety, in meetings and in, like, treatment, people going to treatment, stuff like that, I probably, like, I know one person that I know that's still sober today that was like, my life is falling apart, I want to go to treatment. I can probably think of, like, 4 or 5 others that were kind of, like, begrudgingly went, but knew their lives were a mess and things like that. I did not want to go to treatment. So it's interesting that I always use, like, drug court and things like that as examples of, like, you don't have to want to get sober, you know? Because I think there's this whole, like, misconception that only those people that really want to get sober will get sober. I think that people setting boundaries, interventions, all that kind of stuff, I think that really works for people getting sober. And, you know, like, my dad saying to me that night, you can go to jail or you can go to treatment, but I'm done with you. And I knew in that moment, it wasn't like, wow, like, I need to get sober. Like, this is a shock to my system. I mean, people have been telling me for a while I needed to get sober, for a long while, that my life was a mess. It was my fear of going to jail because I knew I wasn't going to make it there, you know? My fear of being a gay man in jail was terrifying to me. And so I opted for the easier of two, you know? I've been to treatment. I knew what that was like. So I was like, okay, let's do treatment. I had no plan of staying sober. I had no plan of staying in treatment, you know? And then I woke up that next day in treatment on the 17th, and in the afternoon, and, you know, and not clear-headed or anything like that. I woke up and, I can remember walking out. I had this, like, long, like, hospital, like one of those blue and white striped hospital robes or blue robes or whatever, and these, like, footy things with the, you know, the things on the bottom of them so you don't slip and slide, and like, scrub pants on. I can remember walking out there, and it was my neighbor. I've shared the story a lot. It was my neighbor, who I didn't even know. I knew she was a nurse, I think, but I never knew she worked in this treatment facility, and she was a detox nurse. And that alone was like it was my neighbor that I grew up with. Like, I was, like, really good friends with her daughter and stuff. Like, when I tell the stories about me and my 2 girlfriends walking down the street, her daughter was one of those girls. And so here I am face to face with my neighbor that's always just been kind and loving to me, you know? And I'm like, I need to go. Like, I need to get out of here. And she's like, Peter, like, you're in really bad shape, you know? Like, shook my vitals. My vitals were not good. Like, I tested off the charts, you know, my drug screens. It was bad. And she was like, please stay, you know? And I'll never forget, like, the only place in the hospital that you could smoke was the detox unit, and that was also the only place that served caffeinated coffee. I can remember, like, I never did this, but I can remember, I don't think I ever did it, but, like, people, like, trying to, like, scheme to get down to the detox unit to get real coffee, because, like, that was the only place that had, like, real coffee. There were some, like, fun moments in treatment, too. Like, I was thinking about that last night, about, like, there was this, you know, it's funny, like, the things you remember. Like, my experience of treatment was very similar to the movie Clean and Sober. I wouldn't say I identify with Michael Douglas's character in that whatsoever, but my experience of like becoming friends with people, getting to know people in treatment, things like that. Like I wasn't trying to like there were moments where I was like to my dad and stuff, come get me out of here and whatever, but like then I kind of like settled myself down and kind of like just went with it, because I was like, this is what has to go along if you're gonna do this. If you're gonna get out of here on your own, like you need to just shut your mouth. I've shared that on here before, right? And so, but I was thinking about this the other night, last night, I can't remember, but I was remembering this moment, and it was, we had this rec therapist. I could see him in my head. It was like this big, really tall guy that was like older, with like this like mop of like gray hair, right? And I can remember he always wore these like gray sweatpants pulled up like to here, you know? And so it's like 30 adults, like men and women, and we're like sitting in this rec room, and he had us do this activity. Like, I mean, like, I'm almost gonna start crying talking about this, because like, and it's so silly, but like I remember like I don't know why, like I don't remember most of the rec activities that we did, but for some reason this one stood out to me. And this was when I was out of detox and I was on the rehab unit, because they move you after you're done with detox to like the rehab unit, you know? And so, which is like a different hallway, different rooms, different group rooms, stuff like that. The detox unit was a different part of the hospital, and it was like 4 rooms on one side, 5 rooms on the other, the nurse's station, and then like a lounge at the end. It was much smaller. And so we did this activity, and I remember we had to go around to people, like, you like picked a name out of a hat, or like everybody had to write their name down and put it on a hat, and then you picked the name out of the hat, and somebody's probably heard of this game out there, but anyway, because I mean, I don't think it's like a new game or anything that he invented, but like you picked up this person's name, and then like if it was Judy Smith, you had to like go, okay, who's Judy Smith? And then that person would raise their hand, and you'd have to go over to them, and without knowing them or knowing anything about them, you'd have to get down on their knees, or your knees, and you'd have to take their hand in yours, and you'd have to look in their eyes, and you had to say, Judy, I love you, but I just can't break a smile, or something like that. And then, but you had to do it with a straight face, and you couldn't laugh. And if you laughed, then you lost, okay? And then you went to the other side of the room, and those people that were left, they got to like, they'd play it out like over some prize. And so it ended up being all these people that like were down on their knees, and they had to say like, there were these things they had to say to each other, that they had to like look in each other's eyes and say these like really loving, endearing things, but they didn't know the person, so it was like a get to know each other activity. But what I remember about it was the first time that I had laughed in a long time. It was the first time that I had laughed in a long time with a bunch of strangers that I didn't know. Sober, completely sober, you know? I can see myself sitting in that room. I can see the window, like, looking out. And I can remember just, like, laughing my ass off, you know, with these people that I had no clue who they were, and we're all laughing, and they're all these grown adults are laughing over this stupid game that we're playing. And I just feel like so much of my youth was stolen, you know, and, like, by me and my choices. And it took me like so long, like, you know, to realize that I could be happy and I could have fun, sober, you know? Like, I don't even know why I'm getting emotional over that story. It's just a silly story to get emotional over, but it was like the first time that like I really realized that like I can be happy and I don't have to be on some kind of substance, because I was so dependent on it. I thought like, I can't have fun without drinking. I can't have fun without a pill, or, you know, using this substance, or using, I mean, I never thought that I could have fun that way, you know? I wasn't trying to get something from these people. I wasn't trying to use these people, you know? What could they do for me? It was all about just having fun, you know? And I can remember after that, it was really when kind of things like opened up, and the guys in my unit, when I was in treatment, it was a lot of guys that worked in factories, like car factories and things like that. Like a lot of them worked for like Rolls-Royce here in town and stuff like that, which I don't mean Rolls-Royce like the car. I mean like Rolls-Royce like the engines and things like that. There's a big like factory here in Indianapolis, and Chrysler, which is in Kokomo, and there's just, there's like all kinds of factories in Indiana. And, they would get like, they got such great insurance through these factories that they would get like 30-day treatment addiction stays. And so many of them, because they told me this, would like book in the 1st of December, like, the 10th of December or whatever. I don't know what is making me sneeze out here tonight. But thank you for those of you that said bless you, because I know there's a few of you out there. But, like, they would say, like, I'm coming in for my 1-year holiday. And, like, the counselors and stuff knew them because they would come in once a year. And because they got this 30-day stay, with their insurance or whatever, which insurance companies don't pay for 30-day stays in treatment anymore, but this is back in the day. My insurance did not pay for 30 days. They hardly paid for any of it. And my dad was not happy about that. And so I think my treatment paid for, like, it was something ridiculous. It was like 1 or 2 days, because I remember my dad had to pay for the rest of it. And I saw him in the hall, and I thought he was there to come and see me, and he was there to basically pay for treatment, which is one of the reasons why I call my dad every year on my sobriety birthday and thank him for treatment, thank him for my life, and thank him for my education, because those were 3 of the greatest gifts my dad ever gave me. They are the 3 greatest gifts my dad has ever given me. But I remember these guys, they knew everybody. They knew how it worked and whatever, right? And I have to say that it wasn't like they were trying to sneak drugs in there. It wasn't like they were planning to use when they were going to get out and all that kind of stuff. But they weren't serious. Like, this was like a 30-day respite for them. Many of them that did have drug and alcohol problems. Like, one of the things I've learned through the years is, like, factories and things like that, distribution centers, like, they are their own world, like, within there, like, when you walk in there. Like, I was never aware of that. If you work in factories and stuff, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? That there are drugs that go on, people drinking inside, they're doing drugs, prostitution, relationships, all kinds of stuff goes on there. Betting that only happens, betting, like gambling, that only occurs within that factory. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's worlds themselves inside factories, right? And these guys had a lot of problems, but they would come in and they were well-meaning, like they wanted to make changes, but at the same time they weren't really, you could tell, like, they weren't really willing to do the work and stuff like that. Like, they would sit and they would talk in groups and they were patient, they would listen, the education groups and stuff like that, but you could tell they never like put down the program or said, like, oh, I'm getting high as soon as I get out of here. I don't remember a lot of that. My roommate was, and he got in trouble for smoking in the room and putting cigarette butts out in the drawer of his desk and stuff like that. He ended up getting kicked out, and I got my own room. But and he talked all the time about getting high as soon as he got out of there and stuff like that. But, like, other than that, like, I don't remember many people talking about that, which is kind of interesting in retrospect, But a few people, but not a lot. But after that, that was when the guys, like, really took me under their wing. I didn't have people visit me. I didn't want people to visit me. On Christmas Day, 2 of my closest friends came and visited me. And I let them, like, come. I had, like, said no visitors, and I let them come through and hung out with them, and that was very nice. They were 2 friends of mine that I used a lot with. Both of them are stopped doing stuff and are successful today. And then I had another friend that came and visited me, like, the day after or something, and that was hard because she and I used so much together. It was like looking at her was like, I was, like, immediately back there, and I actually was like, I can't have you come in here, like, this is too hard for me. And her feelings were hurt by that. And her life today is kind of still, like, a mess, I think, which makes me sad. But she's had a lot of friends that have died of addiction. She's had a lot of friends that have gotten sober from addiction. So, I tried at the beginning to be a good role model, but anyway, so I didn't have a lot of visitors. A lot of these people would have visitors. It was through the holiday season, so they opened visitation up a lot. So a lot of them would have a lot of visitors and stuff like that. I didn't. So, like, they would be like, Peter, come over to our table. And I'd sit down at their table with their family and stuff like that. And I was so shy and so awkward, and they were so nice to me. And And I realized that people are just people, you know? Our backgrounds, where we come from, I think that defines privilege, and I think that that defines perspective. You know, but at the end of the day, like in the movie Charlotte's Web, we're born, we live, we die, you know? And what we do with that is our own, you know? It's a cycle of life. And I'm really grateful for those experiences, to see that just because somebody was born with more or less than I was, that we could all end up in the same place at Christmas. Like, that was powerful to me, you know? And it also taught me that, because, you know, Christmas came and went, New Year's came and went, and stuff like that, which were, you know, powerful days to me. And there, Christmas not so much as New Year's. I've shared my New Year's story on here before, but I mean, Christmas was sweet because they like gave us these little Christmas trees and candies, and like real Christmas trees. I actually brought it home. My mom, she planted it right over there. It was like a pine kind of tree thing, and I mean, it was like perfect little Christmas tree. And I brought it home, and she planted it right over there. Alex and I, for like the first 2 years that we lived here, we had it. It like turned into this bush that was like so wiry in every direction. I finally got rid of it, but I remember my mom planted it right over there, and they gave us like a little meditation book for Christmas. They try to make it nice, have a nice Christmas dinner and stuff like that. You know, it didn't feel like Christmas. And I think what I realized through that is that depending on what spiritual beliefs you have, or what religious, spiritual, you know, connotation you have with Christmas, or if it's just about Santa Claus and presents and whatever to you, or family and whatever, like, Christmas is just another day, like any other day. What you do to it, what you do with it, what the meaning that you apply to it is up to you, you know? It's really about you and what you put to it. And so Christmas after that, because that was where, before that, I would complain so much. God, I don't want to go to my family's house. Then I didn't get invited to my family's house for Thanksgiving, and that really hurt, you know? But I was always such a mess. That Christmas and the holidays started meaning so much more to me. And you know, even later in life, the more people I've lost, holidays have meant so much more to me, because they're so precious. They're those isolated moments where you get to spend with people that you love, that nobody's working unless you have to go work in the morning or the night or whatever, but you get those special moments to spend with those people and just enjoy them, you know? And I think because of alcohol, so many of my Christmases were just distraught, either mine as I got towards my sobriety birth date, you know, or like before I quit drinking, or like with my mom and stuff. I mean, some of those Christmases were not good because of my mom, you know, and not just when I was a little kid, but when I was like in high school and, you know, left the house. I mean, some of them were not good, you know. So it's weird going into this birthday, because this year I feel so completely grateful for my life. I think this is like, you know, I say this a lot about the small moments, but like I have really, like I was just out here before I started filming, and I took Boo Radley out. And Boo Radley loves to sniff every, you know, what is it, thing of grass, every leaf of grass or whatever they're called, as he goes, you know. I mean, reading the newspaper. And, you know, I talk on here about like how, you know, like with Pee-Pee, when Pee-Pee got sick, that I really appreciate all the moments that like I get to have Boo Radley. I just like let him sniff as much as he wants and stuff like that, you know. But like tonight I was out, and I do, like usually I'm just kind of like, yeah, sniff around, blah, blah, whatever. But tonight I was like, okay, I want to film this vlog, I want to get these videos up, I want to start relaxing and stuff like that. I was kind of looking at him, and my mind immediately went to enjoy these moments. Enjoy these moments that you have with Boo Radley sniffing the grass, because there will be a moment that you cannot do that anymore. Let him sniff as long as he wants to, and so I do, you know. But I have to sometimes use those tools to get me to the moment where I remember that. Okay, this is at like the 29-minute and like 30, 40-second mark. So I'm going to stop this and go in and get the videos going that are going. So, and I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I had to move to the bedroom because Boo Radley is not having it. He's not happy with me right now. Where are you at? He is over here. He is not happy with me because I kept on coming inside and I was like editing the videos, and then I was like getting ready to go outside and vlog and stuff like that. And he was like running up and down the stairs like, Dad, it's time to come upstairs. So when I was downstairs like working on the videos, I kept on hearing him go like that, and I didn't know what he was doing because I kept on hearing his paws on the floor. I was like, what is he doing on the floor? It sounds like he's on the bed. Like, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, is he like jumping up and down off the bed? Like, he's like, I can hear his like, because you can hear like that, like because we've got wood floors in here. I was like, I can hear him like tiptoeing around over there on the floor. But then the next second I would hear, and I didn't know what was going on. So I come up here, and he took this bed that Lucy got him, okay, that he's like obsessed with now, and he had dragged it off the bed onto the floor, was like digging into this thing because he loves it so much. And I'm like, we're putting this back up on the bed, okay? You're not going to be digging around no more into Lucy's bed. It's his bed. He can do whatever he wants to do with it now. But anyway, so I thought that I would come upstairs to the bedroom. All of my videos are posted and done now. It's been about, let me get my sweatshirt all comfy and stuff. It's been about 40 minutes now. So, Boo Radley, Booby, you come over here, buddy? You come over here, honey, and lay down next to me? You come over here? Yeah. Sweet guy. Woo! Catch my breath for a second. So, it's been about 40 minutes. I know I was talking about recovery, but I don't remember what I was talking about with recovery. So, that thought is lost and gone forever to the universe. So, see, this is what he does. Find his perfect place. But right now, my feet are laying in the bed. So, Lucy's bed. It's so cozy and comfy. Now I know why he loves it so much. It's so like plush and stuff. I love it. It was so funny because on my Peter Does Stuff channel, when I showed it, there were people that were like, oh, I want a bed like the one that Lucy got Boo Radley. So anyway, so Lucy, thank you so much for the bed. He loves it so much. So yeah, so I got up all my videos. I'm actually thinking about changing the sheets tonight to one of my new sets that I bought. I was going to wait till next week, the week before Christmas, but I'm like, I think I'll change them now. And then middle of next week, I'll change them to another pair of Christmas sheets and, you know, use my Christmas sheets. I feel like I was just standing there in the kitchen and I was like looking at my Christmas advent calendar, and I have like all these like Santa's Christmas coffee cups left from the Barney's, the white Christmas that I like. That Barney's White Christmas, Santa's Christmas or whatever. I was like, I feel like Christmas like came and went like that quick, you know? Like Boo Radley, what are you doing over there? Oh, what, honey? He said, what are we doing? We're making a video. You want to say hi to everybody? Well, he said, hello, everybody. Did you have your dinner tonight? You did? Did you get to run around outside? Oh, you did? He said, I'm confused. What's going on? Do you want me to give you your little blanket? Here, your blankets are all over here behind me, sweetie. If you want to, like, get on them. Your Costco blanket and your new bed from Lucy and everything's over there. He said, I'm just fine right here where I'm at. So anyway, what was I going to say? So yeah, so I got... I don't know why that makes me so happy. It's so sweet. I don't know what he thinks he's doing, digging in the dirt. What do you guys think dogs are doing when they do that? I know when they circle, it's because they want their back to like the wind. Like I read that somewhere. But it's true because we sleep with a fan. And Boo Radley always positions himself with his back to the fan. So, unless it's like hot in the summer, and then he puts his head like right up into the fan so he can feel it and stuff like that. But anyway, what are you doing? What are you doing? If I put the bed over there, will you sleep on the bed, do you think? You want your bed? Huh? Do you want the bed? Okay. Oh, come here, sweetie. Come to bed. He's been smelling this thing so much. Go in your bed. He loves it so much, I'm telling you. It's the truth. Look at him in his little bed over there. So anyway, I was just talking about like how usually, I don't remember specifically what I was saying, but I was saying like how usually leading up to my sobriety birthday, which now we're 3 hours and 40 minutes away from my birthday. I'm like so happy about it. I mean, I'm always happy about it, but this year I'm like real happy about it. So yeah, so usually like I'm really nervous about it, or I just kind of get sad like looking back on where my life is, but I don't feel that way this year. I feel real grateful this year. And I think it's because I went through this period where I felt like my life was really small. And then I started to like really appreciate the smallness of my life and be really, really grateful for the smallness, if that makes sense. Like being grateful for my porch and my neighbors checking on me, and my relationship with Caroline coming to pick me up, and my relationship with Tanya, and especially like my relationship with Alex and my marriage, and you know, and just like, you know, seeing other people who like are struggling with their marriage and like feeling so bad, or their relationships and just feeling so bad, you know, about it, and being like, we were there, you know, like I can remember and being like, I never thought that, like we were holding hands in bed last night, and like right before he went to sleep, and I started watching my shows. We're watching my my shows, and I came up here. I always come up here and kiss him goodnight, and kiss Boo Radley goodnight, and get him settled and stuff like that, and take my medicine because my medicine's up here. I used to keep it in the kitchen, but now I keep it up here. And so, like we were holding hands last night, and we were like talking, you know, about how far we've come, and I'm so grateful for that, you know. To have a relationship with anybody, a friendship, good family relationships. I mean, those are things that I've worked really, really hard at, you know, in my life. And sobriety is such a huge part of that. And sobriety, it's not just about being sober and not drinking or using. It's about learning patience and learning forgiveness and making amends. And if I upset somebody, taking responsibility for it, or going to somebody when I'm upset about something and having those conversations instead of building resentments. It's like, that's why, you know, recovery is so much more than just about the drinking or the drugging. And it's about, you know, like, who am I as a person today, and hitting the pause button and appreciating peace and serenity. I mean, I say those things, but like in action in my life, the way that it plays out, the reward is an amazing marriage, or friendships, or great family relationships. You know, I'm so grateful for all of that today. It's just, you know, and we were talking about it last night, and it's like, we've been together for over 15 years. Like, that's a long time, you know, and been married for over 12 years. I'm so proud of our marriage, and, I've been on YouTube now over 7 years. Which is amazing. What I was saying, earlier, that we're coming up on 8 years of vlogging, like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that I think, like, I've been doing this. I mean, I've taken times off here and there, like when, after the accident, after PP died, and after I had pancreatitis, and now I take a day off here and there. But, like, for a very long time, I never took a day off from vlogging, And, just to think that, like, I've been doing this consistently over here for 7 years, like, is really cool. And, like, the people that I've met and the connections that I've had, and I don't know, I just feel so full of blessings. And when I look in my life at the complaints I've had, like, I mean, I talk a lot about the stalking and the harassing and the things like that, right? And, like, that's bad. It's like, it's bad, it's intrusive, it's scary. But at the same time, that's one of the things that comes from being online and sharing my life, and, people being upset with me for this reason or that reason, or thinking I'm doing this or saying that or whatever, and I was talking to my friend Nikki, and I was like, Nikki, you know me. Like, I'm just like, I have these same conversations with, like, Tanya and Caroline. It's like, I'm literally just this guy, this dude with a camera that lives in Indiana, and makes YouTube videos. And so it's so crazy to me. I mean, it's really not that deep, like, I wish I was as exciting as people think that I am, like, but it's just really not that much. But, at the same time, because a lot of people have said to me, like, well, if it were me, like, I just would stop. Like, I wouldn't do it anymore. But the trade-off, at that expense of how scary and negative that's been in my life and in the lives of the people around me, like, the payoff, and not one of my family members or friends in any way that has been reached out to or contacted or anything like that has ever once said to me, please don't ever mention me in a video again. Please don't do this. I mean, Tanya, she's willing to be in more videos. For a long time she needed to take a break, but even now, like, when she knows how bad the stalking and harassing is, she's like, they're gonna continue to come for you or whoever you have in videos, and she's like, that's just part of it, Not one person in my life has ever once said to me, because they see the kindness and the love and the compassion, like Alex, Caroline, Tanya, my family, everybody sees how much love I get, that they've never once said to me, you need to step away from this because of the hate that you get. Not once, not ever have they ever said that, And they could have, They could say, don't ever mention me in a video again. Don't ever say, they've never said that, What they have said is, people are so nice to you. People are so kind, Like, look at these things that people send you. Look at the comments that you get. Look at the nice DMs that you get. People DM Alex and will say, like, the nicest things to him, and it's just, and, like, I'll do a video with Caroline and people will be like, she's so pretty and she's so nice. I love your relationship. And, like, no, it's just like, it's the coolest thing. It's all part of the trade-off. I would never give that up for 1 second. I focus a lot, and I have in the last couple months, about all of that. And it's hard not to, But I don't ever forget 1 second, like, all the positives that come with it. And I think this has been a year of a balancing act for me, of letting go of, not forgetting my past, but letting go of it and living in the present, which is something I'm constantly working on, and really enjoying the gifts of my sobriety and of my life. And a balancing act between dealing with negativity and focusing on the positive, and I'm slowly getting there. Like, it's hard. It's hard to do that, but I'm getting there. It's not an overnight thing, but it's coming. And so I think, like, this year versus any other year that, of my sobriety is a year that I've, like, really started to appreciate that, yes, my life is small, but I like my life small, I love the small moments of Christmas sheets and Boo Radley laying next to me, and you know, Alex and I watching TV shows and laughing and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a great life. I'm very, very grateful for it. I'm very, very grateful for it. It feels so different this year. I don't know why. Just like happy and excited and full of joy, you know? I always am on my sobriety birthday, but it's the days leading up to it, you know? So yeah. So last night, after I got done filming videos and stuff, Alex was watching First Wives Club. He's almost like done with the series, I think, because he's been watching that. He's going to watch The Crown next, because I guess the final episodes of this season of The Crown came out. So he's going to watch that next. But, and I don't know if I'm going to film videos tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I'll just have to wait when I get up. I was thinking about filming a video later tonight, talking about like my recovery and stuff like that for my Peter Monn channel. I said that earlier on here. But I don't know, like, when I got done putting all my videos up, I was like, you know what? I might just take completely tomorrow off. I can make that recovery video. I was thinking about actually doing one around, like, on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day anyway. There's 2 videos that I want to make that are not really drama. They're really just kind of like more serious topics that I relate to on a personal level. And addiction and recovery was going to be one of those. So I might save that and just be present in the moment and enjoy my sobriety and take tomorrow off. I'm thinking about doing that and maybe not filming that video tonight and just ordering some food and just sitting around and enjoying life. You know, I might just do that. We'll see. I just kind of play it by ear. Like, I mean, if all of a sudden it's 12:30 and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm so excited about this. I want to talk about it and I'll make a video. Then I'll make a video. We'll see. But last night, so after I got everything done, I wanted to take a shower and stuff like that because we're going to watch shows and we're going to maybe watch movies, but Alex ended up getting really, really tired. So, but after I got all my stuff up, he took me to Fresh Time. Well, he went shopping at Fresh Time too, but I got like coffee and Diet Cokes. I got a bunch of stuff. And then we came back. I trimmed my beard and I shaved. I cut my face. I think I talked about that earlier, but like, I don't know why I was shaving so far up. I wasn't really watching what I was doing. And I cut myself. Then I did a cup of coffee face mask over it, which stopped the bleeding, but I think it like just kind of like made the wound a little bit. I called it a wound in my drama video, or scar or whatever. I think it made it just a little bit worse. It looks kind of like a bug bite a little bit. But anyway, and I took like a really like nice like long hot shower and lotioned up with my sleepy lotion, sprayed the Twilight body spray, and just put on clean pajamas, and it just was so nice, and I just felt so calm and relaxed and was listening to music. And then when I got done, Alex and I watched Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, and Miami. And then I thought we were going to watch House of Villains, but by that point, it was like midnight or something, or 12:30. He was so tired, and he's like, I got to go to bed. And I was like, okay, so came upstairs with him and kissed him goodnight. We were talking in bed for a little bit and then got Boo Radley settled. It takes Boo Radley about 10 or 15 minutes to get settled that night because he's like, he like runs around the bed, scratches like you just saw, but it takes him like 10 or 15 minutes to get settled, and then he finally kind of settles down. So always take him out to go potty and stuff like that and give him one last treat before he goes to bed, and then he's all settled. Isn't he so sweet in his new bed? He loves it so much. Look at that. He loves it so much, little guy. And then I went downstairs and I watched... Oh, you know what? I thought I went right into watching Vanderpump Rules, but I ended up watching... And now I remember what I was trying earlier to remember what I watched. I watched the newest episode of Southern Hospitality. I watched the newest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Canada. I watched an episode of Vanderpump Rules. That's why I was up so late. I was like, why was I up so late? And then I wanted to watch a Christmas movie. But I wanted to watch something really good, because I've been watching all these cheesy Christmas movies, which is probably what I'm going to watch tonight. I've had a really good time this year. Like all the years before, like I always watch the same Christmas movies over and over and over again. My favorites, like Smoky Mountain Christmas, which I watched already this year. Almost the whole thing. I've got like 10 or 20 minutes left of it. I've been watching it in pieces here and there. Just like the Kmart Christmas video on YouTube. I will one of these days finish it because I've been listening to it and then I pause it and I keep that tab open on my computer like when I'm doing work and stuff. Like I'll just like listen to some of it. One of these days I'll finish the Kmart Christmas. It's long. It's like 2 hours or something, 3 hours. I think it's 2 hours. But anyway, I'll probably next week like binge watch all the shows like Charlie Brown's Christmas and and Frosty and Rudolph. I'll probably watch all those next week. The Grinch, all those Christmas movies and shows that I've loved forever. Season of Miracles, which is one of my favorite. It's just so funny when I watch those shows like The Fall of the House of Usher and Haunting of Hill House, and that woman that's in it. She's like in all of them. She was the woman, I think she got her start in the Hallmark movie Season of Miracles with Patty Duke Aston. I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. The Neighbor Women, it's kind of like a cozy mystery, but it's not a mystery. The Neighbor Women bring her and the kids over a basket of cinnamon rolls and like for Christmas Eve and all this kind of stuff and Christmas morning. And so I used to always eat like cinnamon rolls because I watched that movie on Christmas Eve. It always made me so happy. So anyway, I was like, so I've been watching a lot of new movies this year because I was like, I don't want to just watch the same movies over and over again. There's so many Christmas movies I've never seen. So I want to watch, you know what I might watch tonight is Black Christmas. I've never watched that before, the original or the new one. I've started the new one a couple times. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. And I just couldn't really get into that. So I might just like watch it and be like committed to watching it tonight. I also want to watch the Eddie Murphy one that's called Candy Cane Lane. A lot of people have told me that that's really good. So there's a couple movies I still want to watch. But anyway, and then there's like a gay one somebody sent me called The Sitter. I think it's like a Hallmark movie or something. I don't know. But there's a couple different movies that I want to watch still. There's a bunch on like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and there's tons that are free. But last night, so I looked up this article. It was like on Vulture magazine or something. I don't read that magazine, but it was like an article they had written about the best new movies and shows that were out for Christmas 2023. And on there was this movie, and it was called The Holdovers. And it was with that Paul, I can never pronounce his last name, Giamatti or whatever. He's been in a ton of stuff. And it took place in 1970, going into 1971, and it was about a boarding school, like in upstate, I think like upstate New York or something, and like blizzard conditions, kind of very snowy, not blizzard conditions, but very snowy, and it's about these kids that are left over, like they don't go home for Christmas, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, but then it ends up just being this one kid, and then it's him, and then that Paul Giamatti, who is like the teacher that has to stay behind, and then the woman that plays the police detective but only murders in the building, she's in it, and she plays the manager of the kitchen. And so it's the 3 of them over the Christmas holidays, and the teacher's like real mean and hardcore, and the kid's kind of rebellious. And she is like, I'm not ruining it for you, this is like literally in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Her son she worked this school so that her son could go to school there. It's like this prestigious like boarding school. And so he went to the school and did really, really well, but she didn't have money for him to go to college. So he ended up going into the military, and he died in the military the year before. And so she's like grieving the loss of her son. It is I had to pay $19.99 to rent this movie, and I was like, I don't care, because I want to watch something really good tonight. Like, this movie is going to be up for Oscars. Like, this movie she was so good. They were all so fantastic in the movie. Even this one teacher, she's been in some other stuff, too. I was looking at her, I almost looked her up. Because I looked up some of the other people that were in the cast. But, like, I looked up that Paul Giamatti guy and whatever, and I looked up the woman that played the woman that was in Only Murders in the Building that played the manager of the kitchen. I looked her up to see what other things. I was like, she looks so familiar to me. She was also in that show, The Idol. That was not good. That show was not good. But she was good in that show, but the show was not good. So anyway, And then there's a teacher that works at the school that they kind of see in and out. She was really good in it too. The whole movie was so fantastically done and very endearing. It kind of reminded me of Dead Poets Society a little bit. There was an aspect of that. Actually, it was like Dead Poets Society was recommended to me at like when I rented it. So it was $19.99 to rent because it's still in the movie theaters. And I was like, you know what? Like I would go and pay that at the movie theater, so I'm going to rent it and watch it tonight. And it was not something Alex would want to watch. He likes either like action thrillers or he likes like comedies. He doesn't love, like he'll watch them, but he doesn't love like the deep dramas that are going to make you cry. Especially since he's been really working on being more emotional, because then he like just bawls his eyes out through it. But it was so good. It was long. It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes, but it was really, really good. It didn't seem long at all. So I watched that last night, and then, yeah, and then after that I went to bed, and it was really super late. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed. It was so late. But I got a good night's sleep, and I got up today, and like, what are these little things over here of Alex's? And he had asked me if I wanted these. They're like little samples from Louis Vuitton of cologne. Okay. So, I wonder which ones they are, though. He said they're like new ones, but they don't say on them what they are, so I don't know which ones they are. So yeah, so that's been my day, and then today I got up and I filmed a bunch of videos, 6 videos, including this one, and 5 of them are up, and now I'm going to start rendering this one, so, and I can't believe the battery's almost dead. I think this is my battery that's probably the oldest, because it dies before an hour, because we're like 3.5 minutes to an hour, so, or something like that. So, I think maybe like 4 minutes to an hour, so, I know you guys all just like looked at the time to see if I was close. Was I close? So that being said, I'm going to get off here, and I am going to enjoy the rest of my night. I probably, unless like I'm like real like awake and just like, you know, antsy tomorrow, I probably won't vlog tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. I probably won't film any videos on any of my channels tomorrow unless I film a video later tonight. But that being said, I might wake up tomorrow and, you know, feel like, it just kind of depends on what like we end up doing, you know, if we like watch movies and shows, and if that case, no, I won't. But if I'm not really feeling like that, then yeah, I will. Or if I'm not really feeling, if Alex is like tired, he doesn't want to watch shows and stuff, then I'll film some videos, maybe 1 or 2, or a vlog, a short vlog or something. But if you don't see a vlog come up tomorrow, it's because I'm taking the day off for my sobriety birthday. So anyway, I'm going to get off here now, and this was such a fun vlog tonight. I was all over the place. I was crying. I was laughing. Boo Radley's in his little bed sleeping over there. Aren't you, Booby? Oh my God, he is so sweet. You guys, I have to show you this. This is so sweet. Oh, hi, honey. Do you love your new bed? Oh, you're stretching out, aren't you? Look at you. You fit just perfect in that bed. And he said, you know I do. All right, you guys, well, listen, I'm going to get off here now. So I'm not going to do a long outro tonight. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I'll see you either tomorrow or Monday. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you then. Bye. Love you.